S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this act like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, hey, we some snipers.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name, you all know, you know it already. It's Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. And in case you guys didn't know, we were a Benzinga FinTech Awards finalist last year for Best Data Analysis Tool, but we are currently the fastest growing and highest rated premium online education platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, and individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, swing trade, also cover long-term investing, literally something for everybody at True Trading Group. Now, when you do join our platform, you get immediate access to $15,000 worth of education tools and resources that have already helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. These are people, our members that have been able to become better traders and investors, no matter how much time they have, no matter how much money they're starting with, or what their experience level is. You're going to be getting an all-inclusive membership when you join True Trading Group. A university level education, simplified and expanded upon version of the training I received working at a fund in New York. Beginner courses and advanced courses. So you have a stock market foundation course. There's chart patterns, indicators, short selling, swing trading, advanced options, as well as regular options, single leg and multi-leg option strategies, how to trade during a market crash, futures trading, options, crypto. There's even a course that teaches you how to do your taxes. And of course, my personal favorite, the trader psychology courses. Most important part of trading is mental. 80 to 85% of trading is all up here inside your head and controlling your emotions. Those are my favorite courses. You get access to every single one of them when you join our community. Not to mention, you're going to get access to all of our moderators. True Trading Group is not just myself. There's 8 other professional trading full-time moderators with you each and every single day that are calling out trades, answering questions, providing market commentary and analysis. And of course, they're trade alerts in real time. You're going to get swing trading, day trading, options, futures, scalping, core trading, and long-term investing, all of the different strategies and styles that are implemented by myself and the rest of the TTG moderators. Now, you also get access to some of the best technology and resources that this industry has to offer. Included with your membership is TradingView's premium charting software, Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed, a simulator to help you trade with fake money, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, analyst ratings, short data, congressional trading data, insider trading data. All of this is included with your membership. You guys are going to get to use some real-time custom scanners. Of course, our AI trading assistant, which is hands down the best in the industry, and what I think is going to be the reason and was going to warrant us the prize this year at the Benzinga FinTech Award Show. Not just a finalist, but this time we're coming for the prize. And of course, the whole entire community. Hands down, the most educated, helpful, supportive, and successful community of traders you're ever going to find. 10,000 members from 115 different countries. And we also have real-time translation for seamless communication on our platform in case English is not your first language. You get access to the video library that has over 1,000 hours of workshops covering a variety of different topics. And you get all of this included with the utmost transparency and trustworthiness from us. The moderators and I submit our trading records from the brokerage accounts each and every single day so that you guys can see each and every single execution. The moderators and I collectively as a group have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% on all of those executions now going on the last 5 years. We're 4.7 out of 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 2,500 reviews, have a 78% retention rate amongst our members, and a less than 2.5% refund rate. Now, I'm going to talk a big game on this live stream, but I want you to know that I back it up fully with my own money. We offer a double your money back guarantee to anybody that joins True Trading Group. It's actually quite simple. If you're unable to make back your membership fee at least one time during your membership, after going through our courses, passing the quizzes, and attending one study group, we don't just give you back your membership fee. We give you back double your membership fee for wasting your time. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that later on as this live goes on. But for right now, you're probably wondering why I should listen to this guy in a Yankee hat. It's not because I figured this out on my own. I didn't figure this out by watching YouTube videos or by sitting in Discord chats. I was fortunate enough for my first job right out of college. I was working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, where they had me go through a training program before I was ever able to touch $1 of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with my 8 other professional trading mods and over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. So if you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, folks, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, we go live on this channel where myself, other mods, and special guests drop golden nuggets, give you free lessons, education, trade ideas, and commentary to help you guys all become better traders. So if you haven't done so yet, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. You don't ever want to miss out on any of these lives. Crazy day in the markets again today. Today is Tuesday. So this is a day that ends in a Y. Therefore, the markets make a new all-time high. 26 new all-time highs now in 2024. As not only today did we make a new intraday high, we also made a new closing high. Okay, we made also a new closing high today. And this prior all-time high just continues to be support as we get into now the big event that we have all been waiting for. The big event that we've all been waiting for. And it's tomorrow. It is the Fed meeting, and it is CPI inflation data. What we're going to talk about here today on this live stream is we're going to prep and we're going to prepare. Okay? We're going to prep and we're going to prepare for what happens tomorrow after the CPI number. Now, the Fed meeting itself shouldn't really be that much of a surprise at 2 o'clock when the rate decision is announced, because it is 99% likely that there's not going to be any movement by the Fed with regards to rate cuts. They're not going to cut rates. They're not going to raise rates. They're going to stay exactly where they are. which is contrary to what some of our other neighbors around the world and our friends around the world have started doing. You see, the Central Bank of Canada, they already cut rates last week. The European Central Bank, they already cut rates last week. We are not going to be cutting rates tomorrow. So there shouldn't be too much of a surprise at 2 o'clock when it comes to the rate decision. But what we should be paying attention to is, how does the CPI number tomorrow morning affect and impact the Fed's thought process going forward? Because the Fed meeting lasts 2 days. They met today and they're meeting tomorrow, and then we get the actual decision and the statement at 2 o'clock. So it's entirely possible that tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, when the CPI number comes out, it's entirely possible that that could impact and affect some of the decisions and some of the statements and the words that some of the Fed members say. Does that make some of the Fed members believe that there's no rate cut coming at all this year? What happens if the CPI number comes in hotter than expected? You might see a bunch of Fed members say, you know what? I thought maybe we'd cut rates once. Now I think we're going to cut rates 0 times. All right. If the inflation number comes in lighter than expected, does that maybe make people feel like we're going to get at least 2 rate cuts this year, not just the one? Right now, people are pricing in the likelihood of the first rate cut coming in maybe September, but definitely by December, with a very high likelihood of November. So right now, the markets are really pricing in at least 2 rate cuts. Does a CPI number tomorrow change that? Does it change the Fed's expectations? Does it change the market's expectations? We're going to find out when Jerome Powell speaks at 2:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow afternoon. It's not often that you get 2 5-star events happening in the same day. And when I say a 5-star event, that's not something I'm just making that up myself. These are things that I think are going to actually have the potential to really move the market and move the market in a significant way, depending on what the data comes in at. It's not very often you're going to get the CPI data and the Fed meeting on the same day. So you're going to get this wave of volatility in the morning because the CPI data comes out right before the market opens. And then you're going to get a whole nother wave of volatility at 2 o'clock when the Fed releases their statement. And then you're going to get a whole nother round of volatility after 2:30 when Jerome Powell begins his press conference and he starts taking questions. So tomorrow is going to be a wild and crazy day. But wild and crazy is exactly what we as traders love. Wild and crazy is just another way of saying volatile. And volatility is a trader's best friend. Now, if you've been following my YouTube channel for the last couple of years, then you know that I've spoken about this a lot. I've spoken about volatility, and how this is the most volatile market that I've ever seen. And you might be tired of me saying it, but just because I've said it so much does not mean that it is still not true. This is still the greatest market environment that I've ever seen in my 18-year career of now doing this. It's still the greatest market environment that any of our other moderators who have been even doing this longer than me. We have some moderators that have been doing this for 30 years. We have another moderator that was a former market maker that's been doing it for over 25 years. You ask any single one of them, they will all tell you that this is hands down the most volatile, opportunistic market that any of them have ever seen. And today is another prime example of that. It's a prime example of that because no matter where you look, you had huge moves. Bitcoin got its legs taken off today, a pretty big pullback into the mid 60s after testing 72,000. Okay, last week, he pulled all the way back down towards 66, 67K, testing a pretty key support level of the 50-day moving average and the 65,000. I'll just go ahead and I'll pull up my chart just so you guys can all take a look at that. So you can see you got this nice pullback today back to 66,000 on Bitcoin after we failed that 72K. So volatility picking back up there. In crypto, Coinbase had a big down day today, but then reversed it. Okay, and had a nice little recovery back later in the day. GameStop today coming back to life. Keith Gale back in the money on his position. So back into a point of profit because he was starting to get to a point where he was going to be losing money on those call options when the stock was trading down at 23. If you followed the live stream for the last couple of days, I've given you tons of analysis on the chart here for GameStop and what I think is going to take place. If you recall on the live stream, literally yesterday, I said to you, I watch for $23 to be support. And if the stock gets back to 32, I'm going to really start to become interested in GameStop. It's exactly what happened to the stock today. The low of the day today is right on the button, $23. And the stock then recovered today in the after hours and got all the way back up to 32. So it's nice to see that GameStop recover off of this support level. And again, if you guys have missed the previous lives, right here is the support level. It's right around those low to mid 20s. And it's the previous support from when that initial surge in GameStop happened after Roaring Kitty just posted that meme of a guy leaning forward in his chair like he's paying attention. That gap up gave you this new support level. You gapped underneath it a couple days later. It became resistance on May 28th. Then you gapped above it when Keith Gill published his actual position. And then you had the huge gap up back above that level. And ever since, that level has acted as support, 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 support. It's a wide level. The thing that you guys have to realize is that support and resistance levels are not finite prices. They're areas. And the more volatile the stock, the wider those areas become. Now, for a stock like GameStop, this level is about $3 wide. It's from $23 to $26. And we've talked about it over the last couple of days here on this stream. And I told you to watch very specifically for the $23 level to hold support. And then we want to see the stock get off the level quickly. You don't want to see a lazy stock, which is what we talked about yesterday. A lazy stock means when a stock comes down to a support level and it just sits on it. And it just sits on it. And it just sits on it. And it can't get off of it. It just sits on it. That's not what we want to see. When a stock reaches a support level, if the support level is truly strong, the stock should not spend too much time at that level because the buying pressure at that support level, if it was strong enough, it would push the price of the stock back up quickly. That's what I like to see when I'm trying to gauge how strong is a support level. How strong are the buyers at this price? What's the likelihood that they're going to be able to push this stock higher from here? Well, you got that price action today on GameStop. So it's nice to see the recovery off of 23. I'm still not ready to get myself into a long position here on GameStop for a short squeeze. For me, I think that the trigger point for a short squeeze is around $38. I think that if GameStop were to get back above $38, then I would say it's time to sink our teeth into this thing long and look for a short squeeze back into the 60s. And the reason why I'm giving you that price point, I'm not pulling these numbers out of thin air. Right. So when I said 23 to you support, I'm not just pulling that number out of thin air. The 23 is the gap fill from the day that Keith Gill published his position. Okay. So the gap fill was literally at $23 and we went down and we closed that gap yesterday. We double bottomed at it today and then the stock recovers. I'm not just pulling these numbers out of thin air. I'm not just shaking a magic 8-ball and seeing what it tells me. Then the same thing goes to that 38. Why do I think 38 is going to be a level that we can look for an actual squeeze? I think that a lot of people shorted GameStop on Friday. I mean, hell, I shorted GameStop on Friday. It was a really great trade for us. We shorted it up there in the mid 30s, low 30s, and we rode that thing all the way down towards 27 after he was late to the live stream. And then when he came on the live stream, it was kind of like, what's going on? What is he doing? What is he going to say? And the stock started to trade to the downside. Now, I'm just a quick trader. I'm just a quick day trader, a little bit of a swing trader. You know, I do swing trade all the time also, but I was in that just for the day trade, right? That was just a way for me. Hey, I think the stock's going to drop back into support. So I'm going to get short here. I'm going to ride into support. Then I'm going to get out of the position. Let's see if the support level holds. And if the support level holds, we'll look to try to get ourselves long. But bigger institutions and hedge funds and other people and other traders and other financial firms, they don't trade like that. They say this stock has no business being at 38, 40, 45, 50. And the company just announced a 75 million share offering. So they're going to go, and their earnings were not good. Those people are going to come in, they're going to short the stock, and they're going to stay short the stock for the next several weeks, maybe even several months, as they think the stock works its way back down to maybe $10, $12, $15. I think a lot of those people shorted this stock in between $32 and $38 because that is where the stock was trading when the live stream happened. Okay. And when that live stream took place, everybody was like, he's not really saying anything. And I think that caused a lot of people to jump on the trade short. And if we zoom in here and we draw a line right across 38, I want you to take a look here. Okay. I want you to take a look at this level. because you paused at this area on June 6th. You broke through it and rallied. Okay. Then you pulled back down into it. It became support. Then you had that big overnight short squeeze to 67. Then you had the huge gap down when the company announced their earnings and did their offering. And even with the gap down, that level became support again. And you rallied back up into the 40s. Then you finally broke it going into the live stream. And then once it broke back underneath it, you will notice that it then became resistance. So what I think has taken place is a lot of people shorted GameStop in here. And what I'm thinking is that if GameStop were to get back above this level, that is when I think all of those people that shorted the stock, that is when I think you'll start to see them cover their positions. And that is when I think the stock really gets moving to the upside. I don't really think short sellers feel pressure until you get back to 40. That's what I'm saying. You got to get over this 38. You get over this 38. And I think that short sellers begin to feel that pressure and they can begin to potentially get squeezed. All right. So we have to wait and see. I don't have any position on GameStop right now, but I'm watching it very, very closely. I do like the price action that I saw today. It is promising. It's promising to see that support level hold, but I still need to see more out of the stock before I go ahead and get long looking for a squeeze move. Okay. For now, I'm just sitting back. I'm observing, I'm watching, I'm paying attention, and we'll see if, trust me, if I get long this thing, you're all going to know about it. Okay. I will, obviously members will know the exact moment that I get into the position because we send out the real-time notifications when our orders fill. But for the YouTube channel, I'll tell you guys also, if I do get long the name, I'll tell you guys on the live streams that I do them 6 days a week. I'll tell you guys all if and when I do take a position and what the price is that I'm in at and what I'm expecting the stock to do. But just know that I'm not really sinking my teeth into the trade until we really get ourselves back over 38. Okay. So that's kind of what my thoughts are there. Those are my thoughts there with regards to GameStop. Okay. And closing out their offering today, also 75 million shares. They were able to complete that offering. Just an incredible offering. The volume and the liquidity that this stock is trading, 163 million shares today. You know, it traded over 200 million shares, traded over 278 million shares on Friday. That is such an incredible amount of liquidity for this stock. And good for the company. The company was able to raise a ton of money and a ton of capital. We'll have to see what Ryan Cohen is going to be able to do now with the war chest of cash that he has, because this is after they already did a 45 million share offering. They did another one of 75 million. So that's a lot of shares. That's a lot of money. So they've raised a couple $1 billion. What are they going to do with that cash? I have no idea, but I'm excited to find out. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But Keith Gill's options expire in 2 weeks. So if he's going to make money on those options, this stock's got to get moving. It's got to get moving quick. All right. It's got to get moving. It's got to get moving quick for that to be the case. All right. A lot of people had speculation that he was going to exercise his options on the live stream, which did not happen, which did not take place. He still could exercise them if he wanted to. He's $10 in the money. He's got the $20 strike call. The stock's trading at 30. He could exercise them if he wants, and that means market makers are going to have to deliver him 12 million shares at $20. Prior to this offering, I would have said that, that's a problem. The market makers, definitely the people that sold the 120,000 call options to him, it's 100 shares per contract. So 120,000 contracts is 12 million shares. So if he were to exercise 120,000 option contracts, he would then be receiving 12 million shares at $20 a share is how that would work. That would cost him $240 million, but he would buy 12 million shares at $20, even though the stock was trading at, let's say, 30. Okay. So prior to the offering, I would say that the 12 million shares being delivered to him would have been a serious problem, and it could have caused a gamma squeeze within the stock. I actually think that's what took place last week. When the stock started to squeeze from 26 all the way to 48, and then after hours went all the way to 67, I truly believe that was market makers buying shares in case he exercised his options. Okay. There was because as soon as he came out and said, I'm announcing a live stream on Friday, the stock went bonkers. I think that all the people that sold those options to him, the people that were on the hook for the 12 million shares, I think they got scared and they went ahead and they bought shares so that they would have the 12 million shares to deliver if they got exercised. I think that's why the stock squeezed on Thursday afternoon all the way to $67 in the after hours. We closed at 48, but it went all the way to 67.5. Then you wake up the next morning and the company comes out with earnings. They weren't good. The company announces an offering. And I think all those market makers that bought those 12 million shares the day prior dumped it because they felt like we're no longer really on the hook necessarily, because it's going to be easy for them to then locate those shares if they are exercised, because now you have 75 million new shares coming to the market. That's dilution by the company. The company sold an additional 75 million shares, put 75 million shares into the market, into the system. So now that's just more liquidity, more supply for market makers to locate shares if they needed to deliver them. So I feel like that's what took place on Thursday and Friday. Was it just a kind of a merry-go-round, a kind of a flip in and out by the market makers that are on the hook for those 120,000 option contracts? I don't know. And we're never going to know. You're not going to know, okay, unless you're working at the trade desk that has, that has exposure to 80,000 of those contracts. Then you'll know, right? But if we're just sitting here right now, it's just a conversation to have, but no, there's no way for you to actually tell. There's no way for you to actually know. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens if he does exercise. I think the stock will get a significant pop. I just don't know if it has the potential to squeeze like it would have if he was to do that, if he did that a week prior. I think that you would have seen a bigger squeeze last week if that was to take place than if it took place now after the 75 million new shares are already into the system or were already announced. Okay. So that's with regards to GameStop. But aside from GameStop, there's a lot of other stuff going on. Like I said, we have CPI data coming up tomorrow. We have Fed meeting coming up tomorrow. So we have to plan and we have to game plan for it. I'm not here to tell you what the CPI number is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. I'll tell you what the expectations are. I'll tell you what all the analyst expectations are. I'll tell you what numbers that the market thinks we're going to get. And then I'll tell you if the market gets something different than that, what's the reaction? How do we make money from it? That's my job. My job is not to predict the future. It's not to predict economic data. It's not to predict earnings. It's to identify high probability scenarios and put myself on the right side of that probability over and over again. That's my job as a trader. And you do that with good, sound, consistent risk management. And that's how you reach a point of consistency and consistent profitability, which is what everybody is here to do, right? The whole reason why you're on this YouTube channel right now and you're watching me talk right now is because you're interested in the markets and you're interested in the markets not because you want to make new friends. You're interested in the markets because you want to make money. And that is exactly what we are doing here at True Trading Group. It's what our members are doing here at True Trading Group. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money that I make. I can sit there and say, oh, I made $1 bajillion this year. It doesn't matter because not one of the bajillion is going to go towards paying your bills. So it's not about how much money do I make. It's not about how much money other people make. It's not about people posting snapshots or screenshots of their accounts and their P&Ls. The only thing that matters is whether or not you are actually able to make money from the community, the tools, the resources, the trade alerts, and the platform that you are a part of. I love how Joshua already typed the number one. Joshua, I love you. Joshua already knows what's coming. For those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, I want you guys to watch something real quick. Members of TTG, follow Joshua's lead. Okay? Type the number one inside of chat right now if you guys are making money and you are becoming better traders because of True Trading Group. So again, if you're a member of True Trading Group, you are a member. Type the number one if you're making money and you're becoming a better trader because of TTG. And anybody that's watching this live that is not a member, you pay close attention to the amount of people that you see type the number one, because guys, these are your friends, your family members, your coworkers, these are your peers. And if they can do this, then so can you. There is absolutely no reason why all of these people can have success and you don't. They're not luckier than you. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more experience than you. These people were once you literally and exactly, not figuratively, literally. They were on a YouTube live stream, just like you are now. They've listened to me talk for a couple of streams. Some of them only listened to me talk for maybe an hour, and they decided that I've learned more in an hour or so than I have the last year doing this by myself. And other people, you're watching other people tell you that it works for them. You're watching other people tell you that they are making money. And one of the biggest things one of the biggest examples and one of the biggest kind of proofs that our members do well is the fact that 78% of our members have renewed their membership or have upgraded their membership and spent thousands of dollars to become a lifetime member of the community. You have to just ask yourself, if you were to join TTG and you went through a whole year membership, you didn't make any money, worse, you lost money, would you renew your membership? Probably not. Would you spend thousands of dollars to become a lifetime member? Most definitely not, because you would feel that it's not worth it for you. Then why do you think all of these people did? Watch. Now, members of TTG, type the number 2 if you are a lifetime member or you have renewed your annual membership. Go ahead and type the number 2 in chat right now. Now, what you're going to see, for those of you that are not members, is you're going to see pretty much the same amount of people that just told you, hey, I'm making money and I'm becoming a better trader. You're about to see that many same people tell you, hey, I'm a lifetime member. Hey, I've renewed my annual membership. And why wouldn't they? If they're making money, why wouldn't they? If you made an investment and that investment paid off and paid you dividends and you made money on the investment, why would you not continue? It's very different, though, if you were to make an investment and you just lost all your money. Are you going to make that same investment again? Probably not. Hopefully not. Hopefully you would have learned your lesson. But this is why we have a 78% retention rate, because what we do works. Our members have success, and by success, I mean make money. Now, not every one of our 10,000 members is killing it. That's not realistic. I'm not trying to mislead you either. There's still some members of True Trading Group that are struggling, but we leave no trader behind at TTG. We hold red to green workshops the first Wednesday of every month, totally free, where any struggling member could submit questions and topics they're having a hard time with to us, and we will hold a 2-hour live workshop for free covering those specific topics and answering those specific questions. Totally for free, because we genuinely give a damn whether or not our members succeed or fail. True Trading Group is a business. Make no mistake about it. We are not a charity, right? We have over 30 employees, okay? We have bet our entire business on the success of our members. You see, we believe at True Trading Group that we don't want to be a revolving door like some of our other competitors. We don't want to charge you an arm and a leg. You join, you don't really necessarily learn anything, and everything that you need to learn is going to cost you another arm and another leg. And the reality is you only have 2 arms and 2 legs, and we're not going to try to nickel and dime you guys and pull as much money out of you as we possibly can before you eventually fade off into the sunset. We believe in a very different business model, because that's how a lot of our other competitors handle their business, not us. There's a reason why we've got probably the highest retention rate out of any of our competitors. It's because we believe that if we were to make all of the education, all of the tools, all of the resources affordable for everyone, affordable for anyone that's interested in doing this, then you will have a higher chance of success. You see, if you were to just join a trading chat room and you have no idea what you're doing, the chances of you having success are much lower than if you were to join a chat room, you got a training program and courses that you can access 24/7, 365 and learn at your own pace. That is a similar type of training that I received working at a fund in New York. You have access to the best tools and resources this industry has to offer. You have access to 8, 9 professional trading moderators every single day to ask questions. There's weekend boot camps. There's weekday workshops. There's accelerator and mentorship programs. There's one-on-one coaching. All of these things are available to you as a member of True Trading Group for a very affordable cost, because we believe if the access to the education and the resources that you need are affordable, then you will get them. And if you do get them, the chances of your success increases because you're more educated, you're better trained. So the chances of success are higher. And if you become successful, that's much better for us as a business, because now you stay with us for life. Because if you're making money with us, why would you not stay? And the best part is if you have success, you're going to tell people about us. You're going to tell your friends, your family members, your coworkers, and they're going to join True Trading Group. That's how we've gone from 100 members in 2017 to 10,000 in 2024, because our members tell other people about True Trading Group. Watch, I'll prove it to you again. One last time, members. Last question I'll ask of you. Type the number 1 if you have recommended True Trading Group to somebody else. Just type the number 1. If you have recommended somebody, anybody, someone on Twitter, Facebook, a family member, a friend, a coworker, a complete stranger, if you have recommended to anybody to check out True Trading Group, go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. And for anybody that's not yet a member, this should be all the proof that you need that what we do here, that what we have here works. Not because I say it works, but because our members say it works. Now, tomorrow's a big day. And I'm going to do people a big favor here this evening. Anyone that is on this live stream that is not yet a member, okay? Anyone that's not a member, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to keep the price of the membership where it was, and I'm going to give you the 57% discount that we were running previously. Because tomorrow is such a big day. It's not often that you get CPI and a Fed meeting in the same day. Now, the price of our membership was supposed to be above $1,000 today. It was supposed to be $1,027. But I honestly just felt like, hey, it's a big day tomorrow. I want you all to get your butts in chat. If you can't be in front of your computer, don't sweat it. We have a mobile app. Download it. You'll get notified, and you can follow along on your phone with everything that we do during the day so you guys can make money tomorrow. Okay? The people that are not yet members, do yourself a favor and go to ttgoffer.com. That's ttgoffer.com. Everything you see on that page is included with your annual membership. And it is an annual membership. You have access to it for a full 365 days. The membership is normally $2,212. However, for the next 7 people, okay, we are going to give you a 57% discount, which brings the price down to just $950 for the entire year. There is no upsell, additional cost, hidden fee for anything that you see on ttgoffer.com. Every item listed on that page is included for the $950. We do accept Klarna, Afterpay, PayPal credit. If you would like to use one of those financing options at checkout, you certainly can. We are approved through all of those different vendors for the financing option if you would like to use that. Okay. Otherwise, you can go right to ttgoffer.com, and for just $950 for the whole year, you get access to everything we have plus a brand new free laptop. Again, we're going to have to purchase them. Okay. We are just buying them at the retail price. We were not able to get any more from the wholesaler, which is why there's only 7 of them. I'm not going to buy 20 more laptops. Okay. That's why there's only 7 of them. So the next 7 people to join, you're going to get yourself a brand new laptop. Comes with Microsoft 365, Windows 11. Okay. We'll have the AMD Ryzen GPU. It's a 15.5-inch laptop. It's an Asus laptop. Okay. You guys get that totally for free. It's included. It's our gift for joining the platform. We cover shipping. We ship anywhere in the world. Remember, we have members in 115 countries. So as long as you live on planet Earth, I'll get you guys that free laptop. No problem. All right. Everything on that page is included. Our 22-course curriculum, which is a simplified and expanded upon version of the training that I received when I worked at the fund. You're going to get all the real-time trade alerts, the mobile app that I mentioned to you before, Benzinga Pro's newsfeed, TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Ideas scanner streams on our platform for you to use. You're going to get 2 small private study group sessions, our AI-powered trading assistant, 1,000 hours of our video library, all of our moderators and all the trade alerts with all the different trading styles. You're going to get a simulator to practice trading with fake money, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, analyst ratings, congressional data, so you can track trades by members of Congress. Some of you may pay for this stuff already. It's extremely expensive. Just the items that I just named for you would cost you around $5,000 a year if you paid for them on your own. They're all included when you join TTG for $950. You also get custom scanners and the double your money back guarantee. Now, I mentioned to you before about this double your money back guarantee. I told you I talk a big game, but I back it up. If you join True Trading Group this evening, you spend $950 for the whole year. I ask you to do the following. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, and attend one study group and use the platform you're subscribing to. If you do those things and you are still unable to make enough winning trades to equal the $950 membership fee at least one time during your membership, I'm not just going to give you back $950. We'll give you back $1,900, double what you're paying to join the community. Why do we do that? To prove to you how serious we are about the things that we say, to prove to you how much we believe in the platform that we have created, and to allow you to hold us accountable. It's to remove your doubt. I can do this because our refund rate at True Trading Group is less than 2.5%. If our refund rate was 12%, I would not be able to offer double your money back. But since it's less than 2.5%, we can and we do. If anybody has any questions at all, we are fully transparent. We are an open book. Anything you want to know, ask. Send a text message to 786-505-4049. The phone number is right there at the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4049. Good question. How do you know you're getting one of the 7 laptops? If you see a laptop icon right there in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. If you go to ttgoffer.com and you don't see one, then that means that we have sold out of the laptops. There's only 7. Okay? There's only 7 of them. They are free. And you have the W money back guarantee. The W money back guarantee is right on the checkout page. It's in black and white. Literally just go read it. It's literally right there on the checkout page. Okay? Plain black and white W money back guarantee right there, explained on the checkout page. I suggest you guys go ahead and read it. I don't think you need it, considering our refund rate's less than 2.5%, but it's there for peace of mind. So go to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for the $950. You got the brand new free laptop, and you've got the W money back guarantee. Any questions? Text us, 786-505-4049. Tomorrow's going to be a massive day. I'm telling you right now, guys, we're making money tomorrow. Whether or not you're part of it and you're making it also is up to you. All right? So ttgoffer.com. Any questions? 786-505-4049. All right. Let's take things on over to the charts. Let's talk about what we're going to do for tomorrow and what we expect from the CPI number. Here's the SPY, new all-time high, and there's the previous resistance. That used to be your all-time highs. You broke above it on June 5th, and then that level has held support ever since. Right? The level's held support ever since. Okay? Now, you have to continue to rely on this level of support. If this support's going to break, it'll be because of the CPI data, or it'll be because something that Jerome Powell says that the market does not like. You have to listen to me carefully, what I'm about to say to you. Tomorrow is not about me making a stock market prediction for you tomorrow on, oh, the market's going to do this tomorrow. I can't make that prediction for you because I don't know what the CPI data is, and I don't know what Jerome Powell is going to say. And I'm not stupid enough to try to predict what another man is going to say. That, to me, is a fool's game. I would much rather sit here and say, all right, here's the catalyst. There's a couple of different ways this can go. Some if this, then that type scenarios. If the CPI data comes in X, what do I think the market's reaction is? How do I make money from it? If the CPI data comes in Y, what's the market's reaction? How do I make money from it? That is what I am more focused on. That is what I'm going to talk to you about now. All right. So the key data, the key levels that you need to pay attention to are 532, which is your support level in the SPY that you see pointed out right now. That's your support level. Your potential resistance level is 537, which is your all-time high. It's a double top all-time high. And then I think you'll probably have resistance up around 540. Okay, probably up around 540 is what I would maybe say. Oops, let me go through. Oh, you have 542. Your Fibonacci extensions are all the way up at 542. Here's 538, though. Yeah, so there's your 538. So here's that one level of resistance. And then you're talking about all the way up there around 542. But I think that whole number of 540 is going to be a decent spot too. So that's one way that we can kind of look for some resistance. Let me put that line back for you. I didn't need to take that away. And that's where we can look for possible targets to the upside if the CPI data comes in light. So let's talk about what the expectations are for CPI. Okay. Your CPI numbers are expected to come in at, there's the headline number and then there's the core number. Now, for those that don't know, the difference between headline CPI and core CPI is headline CPI factors in all the categories. Core CPI is all the categories minus food and energy prices. All right. The Fed cares a lot more about the core number because they have no control over energy and food prices. That's a supply and demand commodities market. That's not based on consumer driven supply and demand. It's not based on money supply. It's not based on borrowing costs and liquidity, which are the things that the Federal Reserve has control over with their interest rate policy. So they focus on the core number. The headline number is expected to come in at 3.4%, which is exactly what it was last month. Last month, it was also 3.4. So that doesn't show really any progress being made on the headline CPI number. But the month over month number is expected to really slow significantly. They're expecting 0.1 month over month on the headline number. Last month, it was 0.3. That is a significant slowdown month over month. That would be welcomed if you got the 0.1 print month over month. And here comes the core. The core year over year number is expected to come in at 3.5, just above headline. Last month's core number was 3.6, so slightly ticking to the downside. The month over month core number is expected at 0.3. That's a stubborn, sticky number. Last month, it was also 0.3. These are not good inflation numbers, okay? This shows that inflation is not really necessarily coming down. It's just kind of flatlining. Sure, it's not moving higher, but it's not going down. The headline is expected 3.4. Last month it was 3.4. The core number is expected 3.5. Last month it was 3.6. The core month over month is expected 0.3. Last month it was 0.3. So basically, all of the analysts in the world collectively, when you average them all together, they're expecting inflation to do this, go sideways. We need inflation to come down in order for the Fed to feel comfortable that they can start cutting rates, that they can follow along with the Bank of Canada. They can follow along with the European Central Bank. They can follow along with these other countries that have started cutting. Now, they've started cutting, not necessarily because they've got inflation all the way back down to where their targets, but they started cutting because their economy is not doing as well as ours is. Sure, the labor market is softening. Sure, the economy is softening and it's slowing down, but it's still pretty decent. It's still decent. It's not pretty, but it also isn't ugly. It's kind of what a soft landing looks like. And the market is completely pricing in the most probable scenario is a soft landing. If they weren't, then the market wouldn't be at all-time highs today. So it's clearly priced in. The most probable scenario is the soft landing. Okay. So what we're going to be looking for here now with CPI is, I think the only way that the market really extends higher tomorrow is if CPI comes in light. If your core CPI is 3.4, if your month over month core is 0.1 or 0.2, if the headline number is 3.2, 3.3, if the month over month headline number is 0 or 0.1, I think that you need a lighter CPI number in order for Fed rate cut expectations to really price in the September cut. If the market begins to fully price in the September cut, then that means the markets believe there's going to be 3 rate cuts this year. Right now, the market feels pretty good. There's going to be 2. If you were to, for example, though, get a hotter than expected CPI number, I think the easier move, the easier trade is if CPI comes in hot. If core is 3.6, month over month is 0.4, headlines 3.5, and month over month is 0.3 on headline. If that's the inflation read that you get tomorrow, I think it's an easy trade. I think it's a trade to say get short and stay short. And then I would expect a very hawkish Jerome Powell at 2:30, and I would expect the markets to do something that looks like this and sell it off tomorrow if that was to be the case. And then I would say that's a failed new high, and I would 100% expect there to be follow through to the downside to at least minimum go back and test the 50-day moving average, possibly even the 100-day moving average if you were to get a higher than expected CPI number. Okay? That's if you got a higher than expected CPI. I think that's an easy trade. All right. I think a hot number, and I mean a hot number, I think that makes the markets trade lower. I think that makes Jerome Powell be, very stern with his speech at 2:30 of, hey, inflation is not coming down. We're not even thinking about cutting rates right now. And I think that further makes the markets pull back. And I think the markets begin to price out completely. The September cut is completely off the table. And then I think the market prices out the November rate cut. And then the market has priced in just one rate cut in December. And I think that pushes yields to the upside. I think that makes interest rate sensitive stocks move lower, which is all your high growth tech names, your renewable energy names, biotech, those type of areas would move to the downside if that were to be the case tomorrow. Okay. So if you were to get something like that tomorrow, I will be short technology stocks. All right. And I'll probably also look to be short maybe like some solar names because they don't like higher. You know what? The solar names are tough lately because the solar names are no longer trading off interest rate expectations. The solar names are trading off of these large tech companies talking about and looking into other forms of energy so that they could provide enough, they can get an energy source that is good enough, strong enough, and sufficient enough to meet the needs necessary to build out all of their AI initiatives. Building out AI is extremely energy intensive. It requires a ton of energy. And they're looking for green ways to satisfy that energy demand, the energy need that they have. That's why, and Alphabet is a big component of that. So Alphabet is actually looking very much into solar to provide the energy needed for their AI initiatives. And that's why some of these solar stocks have really moved higher over the last couple of months. Take a look at FSLR. Look at the stock of FSLR. This stock was $140. Now it's $300, right? It was $140 in March. Now it's $300 as we sit here in the middle of June. And that's the reason why. So it's a little bit of a different scenario here when it comes to these solar names. They're not necessarily trading on the back of interest rate sensitivity like they used to. Now they're trading off of the possibility of renewed interest and renewed demand in solar energy because of the energy needed for AI. So maybe I'll stay away from actually shorting some of the solar names. I think I'd rather focus on maybe some interest rate sensitive biotech and then obviously some high growth tech names for the shorts. I would look for maybe some of your fintech companies, your mobile payment processors. That would be a double whammy because the interest rate sensitivity, but then also Apple Pay coming out the new feature where you can just with two phones tap them, and you can send money to each other. That kind of, now it's like, okay, well, PayPal, Venmo, and all those other companies that have those similar payment methods. That's a negative for them if Apple's going to be able to do that so seamlessly with just phone to phone tap money sent. That's not good for them. So that would kind of be a double whammy of negative fundamental catalysts for those names. And I would probably look to short some of those companies. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking about there when it comes to the CPI being hot. Now, what if CPI comes in line with expectations? In line with expectations, I think the markets initially trade slightly higher. I don't think you get like a massive explosion, but I do think that you can get maybe a day that just kind of looks like this. And the market just kind of hangs out and waits to see what Jerome Powell has to say. All right. And then if you get a lighter than expected CPI, I just think the upward move continues. And I think that Jerome Powell is very calm, cool, collected during his press conference. If you get a lighter than expected CPI, he'll reiterate his stance that he believes that inflation is on the downward trajectory. that the January, February, March hotter than expected CPI numbers we got were just a blip on the radar, and it did not change the trend. And he feels good about inflation continuing to move lower, and he still feels good about cutting rates at some point this year would probably be appropriate at some time. And I think the markets would like that. They would celebrate it. I think AI technology stocks continue higher, led by Apple and the big mega cap tech names, Apple and Nvidia and Microsoft and Amazon and Alphabet. I think those stocks would move higher on the back of that. And you can look for new all-time highs across the board on some of your tech names like Microsoft, and Apple continues the strength that it gave you today with a breakout to the new all-time highs. Also, CrowdStrike, I look for CrowdStrike to continue to move higher. If that's the case, the company just announced, or they didn't announce, but it was just announced that the company is being added to the S&P 500. Made some money on this stock long the other day. Today was an even better trade to the long side, and I think you get more upside on CrowdStrike tomorrow if you were to get a across the board lighter than expected CPI number. All right. So there we have it, folks. All right. There we have it. All right. Those are my thoughts for tomorrow. CPI comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So we'll be live with our members for that print so we can give you the real-time analysis and build out the watch list and tell you what the game plan is, exactly where we're going to target long, exactly where we're going to target short, so that our members know before the day even begins what the moderators and I plan on doing and how we intend on making money. So if you guys have not yet done so, go to ttgoffer.com. We have to welcome Marcella. Marcella just joined, the newest member of the group, right? Newest member of the group, Marcella. That means we're down to just 6 of those laptops. Everybody welcome Marcella. There's 6 laptops left. Again, folks, just go to ttgoffer.com. Go to ttgoffer.com. See a laptop, you're getting one, and you have the W money back guarantee. You have any questions, text us, 786-505-4049. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, all right? Take advantage of it. Let's make some damn money tomorrow. At the end of the day, that's why we're all here. Get your butts in chat. Go to ttgoffer.com. Grab the free laptop. Have any questions, just text us. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. I'll see you all